Alrighty, everyone. So tonight we are doing an impromptu chill stream, just kind of hanging out, talking about whatever everyone wants to talk about for the next hour. Why are we doing this? Because, well, Marvel Rivals came out in December, and when I played it for about 12 to 15 hours, and I liked it. But I noticed that every time I played it, people would not show up, engage, or support with the streams. Meaning, you get a small group of people who actually cared about the game who would try to help me, and everyone else would basically either tune out or a bunch of trolls would show up to basically complain constantly they didn't like it, and basically no one would support the streams. I mean, not even an exaggeration. They were the lowest supported streams that I was doing of all the games I was playing. So I said, well, my time is at a premium. I got to play things people are going to show up, engage, and support with, so I'm done with Rivals because people aren't doing that. So I stopped playing Rivals for over 2 weeks, and in the meantime, the game blew up and became super popular. The game started getting tons of players on Steam and everything. So everyone just started asking me again, "Oh, well, why aren't you playing Marvel Rivals?" I'm like, because I did. I played it, and you guys didn't show up. You didn't engage. You didn't support. And people kept yelling at me, "Oh, well, we will. You got to play it again. We will." I said, "All right, I'm listening." So tonight we went to play it. I literally just played it for an hour. My entire chat was full of trolls complaining. I got 3 troll super chats, 1 troll tip, all tiny, and then a few very small contributions from a few people, and a lot of people just basically trolling and complaining. You're playing it wrong. Why aren't you doing ranked? Why aren't you doing that? And I said, enough. And I closed it, and I'm not playing it again. I'm actually just at my wit's end when people pulling me to play games that aren't performing well. Just because it's ultra popular, because a lot of people are playing it, doesn't mean that it translates into a game that people are going to want to watch me play. Okay? Literally every other game that I've been playing recently has performed better. Like every single game. Indiana Jones, Stalker 2, Call of Duty, Street Fighter, indie games like Killer Frequency have all done better than Marvel Rivals. So I'm not going to play it again. Okay? I'm not. So instead, we're just going to chill for an hour and see what people want to talk about. Okay? So let's see. What does everyone want to talk about? Tag me in the chat, and let's see what people want to hang and discuss. We also haven't done just a late night chill with Phil stream in a long time. So this will be a fun hour of just relaxing. No New Year's resolutions this year. Last year, funny enough, my resolution last year was that I hoped that by the end of the year I could upgrade my setup. And I did in a huge way. So actually, surprisingly enough, I actually did hit my New Year's resolution last year, despite the fact that I didn't really think about it. I actually did. This year, no, I'm not particularly thinking of anything that I'm looking to do as an accomplishment or something to commit to by the end of the year, only because I wonder how this year's going to go, to be honest. I do think that I'm in a better position by far than I've been in many, many years. And I really am enjoying the freedom that I have to, play so many different games, do stuff at a higher quality, all of that, But I'm not exactly sure. I'm curious, where the year will take me, quite frankly. I don't know if I can even top the year that was last year, because last year was such a great year for me. That second half of last year was amazing, right? So, there you go. I don't know. Okay, I got a couple of contributions to shout out. $2.97 tip. What a weird amount. Stretch Marks wants an unban and thinks that by tipping $2.97, they're going to be unbanned in that manner. That's not how it works. You have to contact me behind the scenes and send me your YouTube information, because I'm not just going to drop everything right now to try to unban you. But thanks for the contribution. I appreciate that. But yeah, you got to email me like everyone else does. What is the name of my digital frame? It is the Divoom Pixoo 64. DIVOOM PIXOO, and then the number 64. That's the name of the frame. I know it's a very odd name, but that's the name of the frame. Shaolin tipped $1 says, I don't think it's right to generalize all of us and say it's all our faults for not supporting rivals. But it is. If you asked for rivals, you specifically, I played it on my own. I told you I was enjoying it, but no one was showing up, engaging, or supporting with it. So I said, I'm done with it. I'm moving on. And then for 2 weeks, people actually pestered me. They were coming on the podcast. They were coming on other streams saying, why aren't you playing Rivals? You should be playing Rivals. Everyone's playing it on Steam. It's got a high player count. Why aren't you playing Rivals? So I said, all right, because of popular demand, I'm going to clear my schedule. We're going to play it. I'm going to do it with the best controls, surround sound. We're going to do the whole 9 yards. Let's do it. And within 1 hour, it's the least supported, most troll-infested stream I've done. So why would I play it? You know? Yes, it is. It is right for me to generalize, because when a bunch of people ask for something and I say, well, I'll do it under these conditions, and you don't fulfill the conditions, then it's not going to continue to happen. I would much rather literally just sit here and hang out with you guys and talk for an hour than play that game. Because at least now I'm having interaction and a social experience with you, as opposed to me playing that game and focusing on it for what? Why even focus on it if it's not going to continue because no one cares? No. Mark, he says, did you ever actually have a good Marvel Rivals stream for support? I would say when it first came out in the summer, if you remember, there was a beta. I'm pretty sure like the first beta stream that I did of it did good. And then after that, it went right downhill within like a week. Remember, I was playing it a bunch over that beta week. And then the same thing happened. And I said, well, I'm going to stop playing it. Maybe I'll check it out when it fully comes out. And then over the course of like 3 months, people were like, are you going to play it when it comes out? Are you going to play it when it comes out? And I was like, well, I don't know. People didn't seem to like it when I played the beta, but I'll give it a shot. And then I played it, and literally the same thing happened during the full release. And then again, people said, why aren't you playing it? So I tried it a third time. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, fuck this game. I'm not playing it ever again. It's that simple. 3 times being fooled is 3 times too many. Well, I consider torrenting games ever only if there was no means to actually play them legit. Like if there was no means to play a game via any digital service and buy it, then maybe, you know, emulation or whatever. But I'm not just going to steal games. No. Oh, my nose. No, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth falls right into this category. It does. It's the same kind of game where I was actually playing it and I was enjoying it for myself. And I noticed particularly people were complaining that it wasn't good, that it was boring, the attendance was low, the engagement was low, the support was almost non-existent. And I said, well, forget it. And then I stopped playing it. And then people kept asking me over the year, why did you quit one of the best games of the year? To my response was, because you weren't there, because you didn't show up for it. If you had showed up for it, I would have kept playing it. You didn't. I'm going to play things that people will show up for, engage with, and support because my time is valuable. My time is too valuable to waste. I'm sorry. I'm literally being pulled in a million directions. I'm being asked to do this, do that. You know, I don't have time to play on shit that you don't want. So stop asking for it. Am I buying Civ 7? You know, I don't know. I've never played a Civilization game before, and I don't know how it will work, honestly, being that I believe that they are slow-paced games where there's a lot of, you know, slow building up of your resources and your civilization. before it really gets into a full swing. And it's also a lot of simulation style, which is slower. I don't know. I don't know if it would work. Donkey Kong Country HD is a great game. It is. It's, not Donkey Kong Country HD, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. The original was great on Wii, back in the day. It was a very fun game, but it is just a platformer that I think it's a hard sell because this HD version is the same game, only now on the Switch, which isn't a big leap. From Wii to the Switch isn't even a big leap. Wii was 720p, Switch is 1080. That's literally the difference. It's the same game, and they're charging full price. I think that these upgrades are ridiculous. Like, oh, HD, 10 years later, full price. What? When you look at a Capcom remake, oh, they're remaking Resident Evil 2 or 3 or 4. It's a from the ground up remake and reimagining of the game with new gameplay mechanics, added story, insanely upgraded graphics, right? And then they charge you full price for it. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, look, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Literally the same game that you played on Wii. No changes to gameplay, no tweaks. It's just the same game now ported to the modern Nintendo console, full price. That's a ripoff, in my opinion. I think Nintendo only gets away with it because they know that they have this unyielding fan base that will defend them till the end of time for every business practice that they do. And I really think that it is kind of disingenuous for them to be doing that kind of stuff when other companies are putting out monstrous effort to get your dollar and they act like they don't have to do anything. Dark Magus says, I remember buying DK64 for the expansion pack to play Majora's Mask. Oh, yeah. Isn't that true? That if you bought DK64, it came with the expansion pack and you could use it with other games. So a lot of people bought it that way so they could get it and play it. Like you're saying Majora's Mask, right? There was a few different games that needed it at that time, correct? That's interesting. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Mark. He says Mai is his most used character in King of Fighters, so he's looking forward to using her in Street Fighter 6. Hopefully she's good. I'm not convinced. From that gameplay trailer that I broke down, it seems like she's a hybrid projectile character. It did not show any rush down at all, like zero rush down, which makes me feel like she's not going to have it. Like she's just going to stay mid to far range throwing projectiles and trying to mix you up with the projectiles, and that's it. And I don't know if that's going to hang in the game, quite frankly. So I guess we'll have to see. The expansion pack launched with Star Fox 64 as well. Oh, okay. AEW is on tomorrow's show, SNES Patrol. Yes, that's the major focus. Tomorrow's Smart Guys is talking about AEW Dynamite. I actually watched Collision as well, but we're not going to go play-by-play through AEW Collision, but I'm going to talk in general about it. And then tonight I'm watching Monday Night Raw. So it is going to still cover Raw, probably not as in-depth as previous weeks, because we're going to talk about AEW this week. That is a big thing of Smart Guys tomorrow. For those who don't know, Smart Guys is my wrestling commentary show that I do with Ashton from Kino Casino, and it is tomorrow morning in place of my podcast on the DSP Reacts channel at DSP Reacts, airing around 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, and after the fact, it'll be archived there to check out on demand. No pay-per-views right now, Dunsfelter, but yes, we are planning on watching the Royal Rumble when it comes up in, what is it, a week and a half? Yeah, I'm interested in watching the Royal Rumble for sure. I just got to figure out how. I don't know how you watch the Royal Rumble. I got to figure it out. Whoa, I did not mean to click on that. Delete stuff. There we go. Oh, I played Sekiro. I played it when it was new, and I did a full playthrough of it. I started off absolutely horrible at it, and by the end, I was actually quite good at it, parrying very well, and I actually beat the final boss much more quickly than most people did on their first few attempts. I think I beat him within like 3, 4 attempts, so it only took me like 10 minutes. If you ever want to know if I played a game, what you do is you go to, would you like me to show you actually? This is probably the easier way to do it. So here's what you do. So if you ever want to know if I played a game, here's what you do. You go to DSPGaming. Here's my channel. Okay. You go to the playlists tab. And on the playlist tab, there's a search functionality. So you type hero. And there it is. And then here's each individual part. I don't know why they put them into random order. It makes absolutely no sense that they do that. But here it is. And that's how you find anything on my channel. My channel's been in operation since 2010. So chances are, if it's a major game between 2010 and now, yes, I've played it. And you can find the playthrough right there by using that methodology. Okay? There you go. Cool. My eyes are burning. Hold on. Let me just do this because my eyes are burning tonight. So recently, it's gotten much colder here in Washington State. Our temperatures have dipped by about 10 to 15 degrees. For the longest time, we were in like the 40s. Now we're like in the 30s, and we're getting frost and ice outside. Because of that, the heat needs to be on like constantly to keep the house warm. But man, it dries the air out. So like I wake up in the morning now, and all my sinuses are screwed up. My postnasal drip is going crazy. I hate it. It was actually nice through the fall and early winter. It was very nice. And now it's like, ugh, feeling yucky every day when I wake up because of the heat overnight. Is there a possibility of bringing back rewards for nights like this, like a vest or a hat? Since we're just chilling, I don't see why not. Like if people actually tonight were like, hey, if we hit $100 in support, can we have a hat or something? Sure. Why not? Because I'm not playing the game. We don't have the green screen on or anything. I would be okay with that. If that, just for a silly thing. Let's see here. Sean, I believe that's a legit membership. I think Sean has become a member tonight, and that's $3. So thank you to Sean for the $3 support by becoming a member. Ugh. Look at this troll asshole. Get the fuck out of here. There is no tip from Grave Lenny. That doesn't exist. Sean has just gifted a membership. Thanks for gifting a membership, Sean. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. How about over on Kick? No one's had no subs tonight on Kick, right? Who's gonna be a sub gifter? Or did we have a sub tonight? I don't think we did. Ugh. Royal Rumble is on Peacock, so I'd have to get Peacock just for the pay-per-views. What a mess. I hope that all these arrangements that WWE made are gonna run out soon, Because just as a fan now trying to get back into pro wrestling. So I want to watch Raw, so I need Netflix. Oh, but SmackDown's not on that. It's on, what is it on? Well, I don't have it. I don't have normal TV, so now I have no access to SmackDown. I can't watch SmackDown, right? Oh, I want to watch the pay-per-views. That's on Peacock. That's another streaming service. So if I just want to watch the pay-per-view and I want to watch Raw, I need 2 streaming services in the United States. Honestly, WWE Network was good. The only bummer with WWE Network was that everything was delayed by, a week? So you'd always be behind by 1 week. But you would still get the pay-per-views on there. So that's really annoying. But from what I'm to understand, outside of the United States, everything is on Netflix, right? So I hope as all of these agreements expire, right, they're going to put everything just on Netflix moving forward, because then that's a one-stop shop deal. Because, man, that turns you off. As someone, I'm trying to get back into wrestling so I could do this wrestling commentary show. And do you really expect me to have 3-4 streaming services to watch it? Like, what are you talking about, man? It doesn't even make business sense. Well, that's funny. Piss Style Man, what a great name on Kick, says, in the old days, man, I missed them. $50 for one pay-per-view viewing, $200 a month for cable to watch WWE. Yeah, it was ridiculous back in the day. Like, it was really, really bad. Now, keep in mind, though, everyone had cable back then. Everyone. Because if you had cable, you literally had all of the entertainment that there was to be watched. So if you had the cable, you had it all. You didn't need Netflix, Max, Peacock, Hulu, Prime Video, Disney Plus. You didn't need 6 services to see everything. You just had cable, right? But the pay-per-views, admittedly, were a huge ripoff. What I started doing is what WWE would do is for a big discounted price, you would be able to get their pay-per-view through their website. They would web stream it, and it wouldn't be amazing quality, but at least it was a big discount from getting it on TV. Because you're right, TV was like $59.99 plus tax. So you'd pay like $60-$70 for the pay-per-view. And excuse me, if you got online, you could get it for like $20. And then they would stream it through their website, but the quality wouldn't be great. And some days it would buffer and it would be shitty. Like, oh my God, why is it so bad? But still better than paying the full amount. I mean, obviously you're right. Today, they don't have that formula anymore. I think what it is today, don't they make like insane amount of money on the in-person events? So that's what they use to offset the fact that they don't have the pay-per-view buys anymore. I'm pretty sure it's what it is. I received a $2 anonymous tip, whoever that was. Thank you. There's no message attached to it, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much, whoever that may be. Cool. Walks Random Channel says, I paid for that 20-second Tyson fight when he chewed the ear live. Oh, it was Holyfield, right? Ugh. What's the game I really want to see on Switch 2? You're hoping for a new Kirby, says HMS Indridnaut. Whatever that means. For me, number 1, Mario Kart. There hasn't been a new Mario Kart in over a decade. We want a new Mario Kart, and it seems like that's a launch title, so that's great. I want a new Mario game. Like, Mario Odyssey was my game of the year in 2017, the launch of the Switch, and we haven't had a 3D Mario since. There was the remake of 3D World, but not a new 3D Mario. So I want that for sure. I want a new 3D Mario, and I want Mario Kart. Now, outside of that, I'd be happy for any first-party Nintendo title. You want to bring back a new Donkey Kong, a new Kirby, a new Smash Brothers, right? A new, bring back Star Fox. Bring back anything the first party. Metroid Prime 4 is supposed to be in development, right? Any of that I'd be happy for. So we'll see what they actually come up with. What I don't want is some crappy kitty Splatoon, stupid ARMS. Oh, God, ARMS. It was such a bad game. I hope that they stick to their guns and they make good first-party titles that we all want. I guess we'll see. Abdullah, I don't have any thoughts on that because I wasn't watching wrestling during it and I don't know anything about it. Elena in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, I never really played many good Elenas. The only one person who I knew who played Elena well was Jason Wilson. But even then, like, the playstyle was bizarre. Like, I don't ever think like she was very good of a character, sadly. Even with Street Fighter 4, when they brought her back, she wasn't good either. So I don't know. Hopefully she'll be decent in Street Fighter 6. Well, sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. Would I ever see Raw or SmackDown in person if they were in Seattle? I don't know. It's too expensive now. Like, that's what I'm saying. They've offset the fact that they no longer charge for pay-per-views with like exorbitant in-person ticket prices. Like, I've been to both Raw and SmackDown when they appeared in Connecticut in the 2000s. I don't think I paid more than $50 for a ticket. I mean, I didn't have great seats, but still. You know, I saw a big Raw arena show where it was like one of the anniversaries of Raw, and I sat up in the higher seats. But that was the return of RVD, which was really cool. I saw the SmackDown where Kurt Angle was supposed to have a cage match with Paul Heyman, and then Brock Lesnar was supposed to have the cage match with Paul Heyman, and then Kurt Angle ran in to save him, but the cage malfunctioned. Like, the chain was supposed to come off, but no one had the key, so no one knew how to open it. So eventually they had to reshoot the scene like 20 times so that he just climbed the cage because the door would never open, which was pretty funny to see how they did it because back then it wasn't live. SmackDown wasn't live. It was pre-recorded. So they would do multiple shots and stuff. Anyway, and you know, it was great. And none of those were more than $50 each. None. So very different. Today, there's probably like $500 for a ticket, right? Some insane amount. Am I a fan of the wrestler Rhino? Well, he was primarily ECW, and I didn't watch ECW back in the day. You know, when he hit WWE, I saw some of his stuff, and yeah, he was pretty high impact with his spears and stuff, right? His gore. But you know, I'm not a huge fan of him or anything. I did go to WrestleMania once. That's correct. It was WrestleMania 29 in 2013. Paid insane amounts of money for the tickets. I think it was like $2,000 a ticket, something like that. Because John and I got the ringside seats, floor seats. So I paid an insane amount of money because I could afford it back then. Of course, yeah. The Inferno matches used to be very popular back in the day. They would light the ring on fire or whatever. Kane used to be in them all the time. Remember that? What's up, Dark Sneed Pimp? Gifting a sub over on Kick. Thank you for that, Dark Sneed Pimp. Guys, it sure would be great to get some support. My apologies that, sadly, for the third straight time, Marvel Rivals did not work, and therefore I'm not playing it again, and we had to do this. But let's be honest, just us hanging out is more fun than me playing Marvel Rivals at this point, so I'm glad that we are. But please support the stream tonight if you can, as you can see. We're at 37 and climbing. I'm going to be here for about another half an hour or so hanging out with you guys, maybe, you know, a little more, give or take. I actually did everything ahead of time. I had gotten the schedule done. I got the stream set up for tomorrow. I did everything early because I was expecting to play Marvel Rivals, and it didn't work out, okay? So I'm here to chill with you guys for another 30, 40 minutes. Please support the stream if you can. Let's try to hit the goal tonight. It would suck that tonight because the third time in a row I got fooled about Marvel Rivals that now we have a slow night. Seats in the back row for WrestleMania 41 were $1,000. The back row, $1,000. Oh my God. Yikes. I received a dollar tip from Beaver Bother. $20 if you switch back to Marvel Rivals now. No, I'm not being fooled because if I do it, you'll just send me 20 cents just like you usually do when I play Dark Souls. I'm not dumb. That's right. I mean, how dumb do you think I could possibly be, right? All right, I received a $10 tip from Nefarious Acts. Thank you, Nefarious Acts, for a $10 tip. So I think, guys, I've proven my point, all right? Since I turned off Marvel Rivals and I started just hanging out with you guys and doing a chill hangout session, I've actually made 3 times as much, and people seem to be having a good time with the Q&A. So have I made my point now? Do you understand what I'm saying when I say my time is valuable? Like, I can't just be sitting around playing games just because people play them on Steam. If people aren't going to show up and engage in support, I'm going to do what people want. It seems like people would much rather just hang out with me and have conversation, right? Than me play any random game. So that's, that's the bottom line, man. Vietnamese comrade, no. He says, are you regretful that you were a fan of Hulk Hogan now to see what he has become? No, because I'm not a fan of Hulk Hogan now. I'm a fan of Hulk Hogan in the 1980s and 90s when everyone thought that he was a real-life superhero and he was like an American, idol and a guy to look up to, say your prayers and take your vitamins and stuff. I am not someone who thinks about Hulk Hogan today and I'm like, oh, I wish I was like Hulk Hogan or whatever. No, we're talking about the classic Hogan. And even then, now you realize all the stuff that you hear about the politics and the shit that went down back then, it kind of sours your opinion about how stuff was back then too. Back then everyone was ignorant. When I was a kid, I thought wrestling was real. A lot of people did, Thanks, Knee Pimp. Yes, tomorrow is AEW day on Smart Guys. Remember, that was the idea. Last week we hit the goal, so we watched AEW. I watched both. I actually watched Dynamite and Collision, even though that wasn't part of the agreement. I watched both this week. So that's tomorrow. Oh, you're asking, are we covering AEW only or both AEW and WWE? No, I'm watching Raw tonight. I think what we need to do, we need to condense the show more and get through topics more quickly. So if we're going to do AEW and Raw tomorrow, it means we got to move fast, right? It can't just be, we're going to sit here and talk about this situation for, 20, 30, 40 minutes. We got to kind of get through it. So we'll see if we can get a little bit more streamlined tomorrow. We'll have to see. Now, what I'm curious about is earlier this week, I want to say it was back on like Saturday. Someone came into the chat during my stream and they said they were going to they tipped, by the way, they tipped like $5. They said they were going to do a 100 bomb of subs during Smart Guys if we would watch TJPW and Choka Pro Wrestling. And I looked into it and they're Japanese leagues. At least TJPW is an all-female wrestling league. I guess like Kairi Sane had come out of that league and I had never heard of it before. So I said to them, listen, if you live up to what you're saying and you come by the stream on Tuesday and you actually drop the 100 bomb, I guarantee you Ashton is going to say yes. And I have talked with him and he's like, yeah, if they come and drop the bomb, we'll do it. I'll be down for it. All the matches are on like YouTube and shit. So we will like, pick out a couple matches for us to watch and comment on. But we'll see what happens. This could be someone who's just full of gas. They said it the other day and they don't even show up, right? You never know. You never know these days. Dunce Filter says, can you and Triple P make predictions for pay-per-view results the episode before and see how accurate you are? Maybe. Royal Rumble's in 2 weeks, right? It's not this weekend, it's the week after. So maybe after watching Raw this week and watching Raw next week, we could kind of predict the results of the matches. Yeah, again, I can't confirm or deny. I don't know. I've never seen TJP, whatever it was. It was like, I remember they said what it was, and I went right to YouTube and I looked, and there were matches, like the whole giant playlist of matches from this promotion on YouTube. I don't know about Choka Pro. I didn't look for that. Yeah, I don't want to make a comment. I won't make a comment about AEW till tomorrow because that would be spoiling the episode. What's the point of doing the show tomorrow if I'm going to answer, if I'm going to talk about AEW tonight, right? I'll save that for the show tomorrow. Excuse me. Am I open to playing fan games on my PC? I don't even know what you mean. Fan games. What fan games? To my knowledge, I don't think many or any fan games have been made. There have been some troll games, but no fan games. Do I like any Broadway musicals? Yeah, I saw Phantom of the Opera. I saw a Christmas Carol musical. I saw The Lion King. Um, did I ever see anything else? I saw at least those 3 on Broadway. I'm trying to remember if I ever saw anything else on Broadway, but I think that might have been it, just those 3. They were all outstanding, I remember. Have a good night, Vietnamese comrade. Yeah, I never saw Book of Mormon. I know that was huge for a long time, right? It was giant, and everyone was talking about it, but I haven't seen it. Oh, I think I remember. I saw Producers. I saw The Producers. Ages ago I saw The Producers. That's right. When it was like real hot, I saw that one too. I forgot all about that. No, I did not see the Evil Dead musical. That sounds ridiculous. What's funny is, what was I gonna say? Oh, what's funny is, uh, there's a lot of musicals that were like oddball musicals. Were you aware that? Did you ever see the movie Little Shop of Horrors in the 1980s that starring Rick Moranis? Um, the original movie is actually a legit horror movie. That's a black and white movie from way back when, and I saw it when my mom liked it. So I saw it when I was a kid, and then I saw the musical. There was a Broadway musical made later, way later, based on that movie, and then they took the musical and turned the musical back into another movie starring Rick Moranis. It's weird how this shit works. It really is. But in the original, the piranha plant, the mutant piranha plant, or the alien piranha plant, I should say, never sang at all. The original movie was not a musical. Yeah, Bill Murray had a cameo in that. Yep, Bill Murray had a cameo in that. Steve Martin had a smaller role in that. Um, was John Candy in that too? I think so. Like everyone at the time had like a cameo in that movie. All the comedians, which is pretty neat. No, I did not see Cats the musical. Um, it was all the rage in the 80s. Like you saw TV ads for it all the time in the 80s, but I never saw it. There were multiple Goonies games on NES, but I never played any of them. I'm shocked they didn't make a Goonies musical. Why not? Felipe Baxter, what makes you think I care about that? Like, what are you talking about? It's drama nonsense. You know I don't give a fuck about drama nonsense, right? I'm pretty sure it's been well established I don't care about the dramatic bullshit of the internet. Correct? Figure can we all establish that? All right. Anything else on everyone's mind? Seems like you guys are calming down now. No other hot topics or anything for tonight? So here's the thing, but we got to figure out Marvel Rivals is off the table. No one cares about it. I'm sorry. It's just no one cares about it. When I play it, the only people who show up are fucking trolls who just sit around and say stupid shit. So I'm not going to waste time on it, right? So I guess a couple, questions here. Number one would be, are we considering continuing with Stalker 2? Because at this point, I don't know if we are. We didn't figure that out. Originally, I was going to say we could do it tomorrow after Smart Guys, but now it looks like Smart Guys is going to run late because we're doing both Raw and AEW, so probably it's going to be the whole stream, and I'm not going to be doing anything after it. So now it's a matter of, like, when would I even play it? The earliest I would play it is Friday, but I don't even know if we want to do that. I don't know. Joshua, we already covered the whole DS Politics thing on the podcast the other day. In a nutshell, when I did DS Politics, I did it too early. I totally should have waited to start a politics show until Trump was inaugurated, and then this week would have been like the hot time to start it, and everyone would have been hyped and excited for it because I haven't done it before. But instead, I started the show too early, and I did it for over a month. And by the time that I did it for a month, because the fact that there really just wasn't a lot going on in the political realm, that was too hot of a topic at the time, plus the fact that I'm not a polarized guy. If you haven't noticed, I'm not 100% to the right, and I'm not 100% to the left. I land in the middle on a lot of issues, and I have a lot of different takes and stuff, and a lot of people don't like that. Right now, what's popular in politics is to either be all the way over there or all the way over there, because then people get all riled up. If they agree with you, they love you. If they don't agree with you, they hate you, and that's it. That's how you get popular. Either you're loved or you're hated. Well, my takes on a lot of things were kind of in the middle, so people didn't really like the takes. I'm like, well, I guess I kind of did it too early then. Maybe if I had waited till now when there was going to be some things going on, like just today, Trump's been inaugurated. Immediately, he did a whole bunch of sweeping, presidential declarations or whatever they're called. I can't remember what they're called. Probably would have been a great show, but no one really cares anymore. Like, if you remember, that final political stream that I did had way less viewers, like 200 viewers on Kick. That was it. Okay. And $60 of support for this show that I had planned all week doing. I had researched topics. I had come into it with a ton to say, a lot of work went into it. And it was actually my most dead thing that I had done. Okay. So after that, I was like, I really don't think that I want to continue on with it until there's a good reason. So I said I would probably continue with it after Trump's inauguration. Well, Trump's been inaugurated, and I'll be honest with you guys, I still don't feel like I want to go back to it. I'm much more enjoying doing gameplay and doing Smart Guys and stuff like that than focusing in on a political show that, quite frankly, since I'm not a polarized jerk saying, I'm right, they're wrong, believe me, they're the enemy, because I'm not doing that. I don't think that's really, it's not going to be a show that's going to be that successful because that's the only show that people want to hear is drama. Drama, 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 right? And that's not what the show is for me. So, well, Matthew, good evening. Good to see you here. Sorry to hear you're having a rough weekend. Hopefully it gets better for you. Well, it's not a weekend, it's Monday now, but hopefully you feel better. Vinny's Pizza says, well, you should just every week switch your stances. Argue politics from each side and flip flop each week. Wow, makes total sense. No, Matthew, I'm not really into movie reviews. I haven't really watched many movies to regardless. Um, and again, the deal with doing a movie review is it has to be an offline piece of content, correct? So that means watching the movie and actually taking time between streams or whatever to do this filmed review and get it up. And it's just a lot of work outside of my already very busy schedule, and it doesn't really benefit much at all. Like when I was doing those movie reviews, most of them didn't even get 1,000 views, you know? So guess what that makes me? Like 50 cents. Seriously, like 1,000 views on YouTube is the equivalent of like a buck or two. So if I don't even get 1,000 views for a video that I watched a whole movie for, planned it out, made a thumbnail for, filmed between streams, it's just not worth it, you know? It's the same thing when people say, why don't I bring back my game reviews? It's exactly why. Things were very different back in the day. Everything got more views, everything paid more, so it was worth the time investment. Now it's the streams that are really worth the time investment. That's about it. Like, for example, we were even saying for the year-end series, I was thinking about doing edited content for them. Like, I was going to edit, like, the most disappointing game playthroughs and the best game playthroughs of the year. And then people talked me out of it. They were like, why are you going to do that? Just live stream it, because if you do all that work, nights taken off from streaming to do it, the videos are going to get like 1,000, 2,000 views. You're going to make like $5. Like, you're right. It's the streams that work, not the on-demand stuff anymore. Dunsfelter says, can you schedule the Lego stream? Here, if you don't know what Dunsfelter's talking about, I'll show you guys. Oh, last month, when I was buying a whole bunch of stuff for the setup for the end of the year, I actually got a Lego set. Now, it's a pretty unique one. It's a bunch of succulent plants. I didn't even know they had plant Legos. And I saw this on Amazon. I was like, what the? Now, this would be cool because when you build these, they could then be used for like for the set. I could actually put them like in the background and stuff. Say, hey, here's the Lego we built, right? And it's behind us here as part of the set for a month or something like that. That's pretty cool. It's also a ton of parts, 771 pieces. And it even says 18 plus, supposed to be, I guess, a hard difficulty. So maybe not exactly the one I should have started with if it really is difficult. It actually does look challenging and difficult. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, when I was growing up, all Legos were just blocky. They weren't these special shapes and shit. I don't even know how to do this. So anyway, with the new setup, what we could do is we could go widescreen over here and I could alternate, right? I could alternate between up close doing it, but also having this, I'll just clear this off and actually build it right here on the table with everyone here live. That could be kind of cool, going between the two scenes back and forth for a bit. I could like do some work here and then go back to close up and show you we're working on it and then go back, you know what I mean? Like, go back and forth. That could be interesting, right? And at least then it gives some incentive to use the new angle. So it's something to consider. But again, we haven't had really, I'm so busy with everything else, right? People want more Call of Duty. They want more Street Fighter. They're angry when I'm not playing fighting games. But then people are like, well, where's the chill streams? Where aren't you going to do? I thought you were going to play Balatro. I thought you were going to do that. And they're like, well, wait a minute. You're playing Dark Souls. When are you starting Dino Crisis? You said you're starting Dino Crisis. Oh, but aren't you still playing Stalker? Like, whoa. If I'm doing 6, 7 things, I don't really have time to do this, right? Just like I don't really have time to do DS Politics. It's just I'm busy with the other stuff. So, yeah, quite honestly, I don't know when we're going to do that yet. I mean, I would like to do it. I think it would be cool for variety purposes, but I don't know when we're going to get a chance to jump into it at this point. The Tuxedo Cat set is 1,700 pieces. Oh, man. Well, guys, ugh, I'll be here for another 15, 20 minutes tops. Thanks for chilling with me for this last, hour or so. And I would say, home stretch, last chance if you'd like to support tonight's stream. It really does suck that this stream got screwed over by Marvel Rivals for the third time in a row. Like, no exaggeration. This is the third time that I've been screwed by this game. And like I said, you give it a chance. I did. I listened to you guys. You said you wanted it. Well, you lied. You really didn't want it. So, it is what it is. I'm done with it. Thanks to those who did support after the fact. We had $10 of support playing Marvel Rivals. Not even. It would be great to hit the goal tonight, but I don't think in 15, 20 minutes we're going to do it, just to be honest. So it looks like we're going to just end up with a really bad, slow stream tonight for bullshit reasons, and it is what it is. Hopefully tomorrow we can regroup. Keep in mind that tomorrow is the Smart Guy show, so that show is separate from me and my goals that get counted. So I really hope that we will hit the goals. I wanted to do DSP Tries It on Wednesday. Like, that was the idea, is that to do DSP Tries It on Wednesday, because my wife has to work and she could come home and not have to cook. And then we could do the DSP Tries It Chick-fil-A on Wednesday. Would have been perfect timing. But now we've been thrown off and it looks like we're not hitting the goal tonight. So now we're going to rely on basically one night stream tomorrow night of Street Fighter and whatever the day stream is on Wednesday, which it looks like is Dino Crisis. If I had to hit those two, then we're going to do the DSP Tries It reward on Wednesday. But now it's kind of uncertain. Tonight kind of literally screwed everything over. Yeah, apparently people are saying Chick-fil-A has changed their fries. I don't know. I've only had their fries twice. They were the sea salted waffle fries, correct? Well, I haven't, I've only eaten them twice. So when I get it this week, we'll have to see if I like the fries or not. I wonder how badly they changed the recipe or why they changed the recipe. That's kind of weird, right? Of course I've accidentally cut myself cutting vegetables. I think everyone has at some point. I got to get a shake. I've never had a shake. And the good news is, there is a Chick-fil-A pretty close to me, which I didn't even know, but they opened up one in downtown, which I never go down there because I'm going to be honest. Downtown, number one, there's way too much traffic, and number two, there's way too much crime. So I never go downtown Renton where I live, but apparently there's one in downtown Renton that's like 15 minutes away, so I probably would be able to order a shake and have it come without it being completely melted. Will I try their mac and cheese? I don't know. Should I, Kyle? I don't know. I've only been Chick-fil-A twice, and both times I got the spicy chicken sandwich meal, which was the spicy chicken sandwich with the waffle fries. That's all I've ever had there. 2 items. So I know there's a bunch of other things I can try. Is it good? People are telling me it's good. See, all this information is well and good, but the problem is we have to hit the goals to get it. You understand? Like, we have to hit these goals in order to actually do the DSP Tries It. So that's what sucks about tonight, is that this sets us back now. What? Tommy says, be sure to get a lot of food. Chick-fil-A burgers are small. I remember them being large. I remember the Chick-fil-A chicken being very big on the bun and incredibly filling. So I don't know what Chick-fil-A you went to, but the ones I went to had big chicken patties. Well, not patties, just a chicken breast, breaded chicken breast, right? I know they have wraps. I want to try their grilled chicken because they have multiple things. They have like the grilled chicken nuggets, but they also have the sandwich. Like, they have different kinds of grilled chicken, and I want to try it. I want to see if it's any good. They have breakfast? Oh, wow. I didn't even know they had breakfast at Chick-fil-A. A Polynesian dipping sauce? I'll have to see if they give me an option to get Polynesian dipping sauce. I'm pretty sure they're not just gonna give me all the sauces, dude. Yeah, that's right. Marvel Rivals is cheating us out of the chicken sandwich. That's correct. It did. Because I'll tell you right now, if tonight I had arranged any other game, it would have done better. You know, we did, considering the fact that in the middle of the stream I quit and just to hang out with you guys, and the fact that we even are almost at $50 is amazing. Seriously, you know, but that game has screwed me over 3 times and I've had enough of it. I've had enough. The Mario Legos I would have tried, Sun Over Acid, but they're too expensive. Like all the gaming Lego sets are way overpriced because of the licensing. So even like the cheapest Mario Lego is something like 50, $60, something crazy like that. Have I ever done breakfast foods on DSP Tries It? I did them really early on. I remember doing the McDonald's breakfast platter and stuff. The problem is with doing breakfast on DSP Tries It, first of all, I'm not, for today, for the modern era, I'm not streaming during breakfast. So I wouldn't be able to do breakfast on DSP Tries It. By the time I'm streaming and I order food, it's dinner. And they're not going to serve breakfast at dinner. So that's number one. Number two, back in the day, even when I did DSP Tries It, frequently when I ate breakfast, it was a quick thing to do while I was like picking up a game so that I could come home and then I could play the game for YouTube content. You know, that's what I was known for, gameplay, not fast food testing. So I said there was a few times that I did breakfast, but they were few and far between. I still remember when I was trying to get the Subway breakfast, when they first introduced that they were going to have breakfast sandwiches, that I was trying to get the Subway breakfast for like a month. I kept going back to Subway, which had a sign that said they had breakfast, and I went back like 2 to 3 times and they never had it. They always just said, oh, they were out of the ingredients. Jade, I know. Jade, I know you love Marvel Rivals. I like Marvel Rivals, but Jade, you and I apparently are not enough people to support the stream. I mean, let's be honest. 2 people are not enough. This is supposed to be me streaming for hundreds of people, and they just don't like Marvel Rivals for some reason, so it is what it is. I like the game. I would like to play more of it, but I can't. I can only do what the market will support, and the market does not want Marvel Rivals. I didn't even know that Chick-fil-A did breakfast. I had no idea. I wonder what kind of breakfast they actually do. I don't know when I'm playing Call of Duty again. But it's probably gonna be Wednesday night because I had Wednesday open as a night stream, and I said, "Hey, if Marvel Rivals does well, I'll on Monday night I'll play it again Wednesday night." Well, guess what? It didn't do well. It flopped huge. So I guess we're probably doing Call of Duty Wednesday night, and we'll probably go with the Akimbo Krakovas that I just unlocked, and I was gonna play with them, and then my internet crapped out. We'll probably do them on Wednesday night. Okay. All right. Let me put this back. Home stretch, guys, for the stream. Final few minutes coming up. Last chance to support the stream if you could. I'm still happy for those who did, and it's a small way that we did get support tonight on the Impromptu Chill stream. But if you could support this final few minutes, that would be great. At least to hit $50 would be great, you know? Okay. No, I'm not doing Denny's, IHOP, or Waffle House. You're talking about, first of all, Waffle House doesn't exist on the West Coast. You're talking about crappy, overpriced chains. Denny's has always been insanely overpriced and crappy, and IHOP, same thing. Like, those are places that if you're in the neighborhood and you want a breakfast and there's nowhere else to go, you know you can go in there and you know you're going to get food of a certain level, not great, but food of a certain level because they're consistent across the franchise. That's not the kind of place you order from to do a DSP tries it. The food is going to be subpar, and you're going to pay way more money than it's worth. Like top dollar for subpar food is just not worth it. Yeah, Jade, I don't know. We got to remember, Jade, that on most games I have all my ability to do friend stuff turned off because of the trolls, right? I probably turned it off. Probably the first stream of Marvel Rivals I played, I probably went in there and disabled all the friend code stuff so trolls couldn't try to message me. What fast food meal would I choose for eternity if stranded on a desert island? Probably none. Fast food, like for me, fast food is not like a craveable thing for me anymore. When I was young, it was. Like I used to like, oh, I love, the Burger King double cheeseburger or the McDonald's little single cheeseburgers were like craveable items, right? But now that I'm older, I really just don't like having fast food too often. DSP Tries It is literally the only time I eat it. I wouldn't eat it outside of that. And when we weren't doing DSP Tries It, I never ate it. It was always a home cooked meal every single meal. But like, I don't think there's any fast food that I actually like enough that I would want to just eat forever. Like, I don't think so. I think I would actually get bored eating fast food, just like games, you know? I'm the kind of guy that likes variety and I want to bounce between things. I don't just want to eat the same thing all the time. Yeah, Jade, if I had known that you wanted to play, I totally would have, set it up with you earlier so we could have done it. So I apologize there, but we're done with the game, sadly. 3 times, 3 strikes, you're out. That was 3 times it hasn't worked. What's my favorite fast food fries? Back in the day, it used to be not McDonald's, excuse me. Burger King redid their fries in the 90s, and they added potato skins. And they were actually significantly good. Like, the potato skin that was on the fry added this cool flavor that other fries just didn't have. And then they got rid of them. So now, if you look at all of them, Burger King fries suck. McDonald's fries suck. Wendy's fries also suck. Jack in the Box are awful. Like, I guess you could say when Arby's curly fries are pretty good. The Arby's curly fries, as long as you don't get a really overcooked burnt batch, they could be pretty tasty. And I'm trying to remember if Sonic's fries are any good, honestly. I can't remember. All right, guys. So we're seriously not even going to hit 50 tonight. I guess I give up. Well, I want to say thanks to those who were here and did support in some way. I guess tonight's just a dead night, a dunce night. I've felt it myself, believing that people would care about Marvel Rivals. The third attempt. From now on, I really just need to learn from history and results and facts and experience rather than hearing people who just buy into hype. Because that's exactly, I feel, what this was. People bought into hype for the game because the game is doing well on Steam, but that doesn't translate into views or support for a game. It just doesn't, right? There's tons of games that get popular on Steam and stuff, and they don't work for me, right? They don't. Remember Path of Exile 2? Everyone's screaming Path of Exile 2, and it was hot on Steam, and everyone, you got to play it, and I got it, and no one cared. I literally wasted a lot of money on that game. What was it, like 40, 50 bucks? We played it once. We played it a single time, and then it didn't work, right? By the way, my camera is off. Did you notice that? What happened here? I don't know. I think it might be because of the magnets, because my camera is now on magnets. I think that it might move, which really sucks if that's the case. Obviously, you don't want the camera moving, but I think that's actually what's happening here. There we go. Yeah, now it's centered. Because I didn't move it. It was centered earlier today, and I think it moved by itself. All right, well, I'm centered now. There we go. But that's what I like about this model of camera. I can adjust it on the fly. I don't have to use my hands and shit. It's not a stationary camera. Five Guys fries? No, Five Guys fries I do like, Sale. Yeah, they're good. I just haven't had them in 100 years. That's the ones with the peanut oil. The peanut oil makes them very tasty. Thank you to Dankseed Pimp, who did gift another membership over on Kick. I appreciate that. Thank you for the two subs tonight. I said membership. Thank you for the 2 subs tonight. At least we got over 50 bucks of support. I'm just not going to be a sucker anymore. I'm not. I'm telling you right now, I'm learning. Tonight, you're going to notice I'm going to learn from this situation, all right? If I try a game and it doesn't work, and a bunch of people whine about it and complain and want it back, I'm going to say, no. If you wanted it, you should have showed up the first 1 to 2 times I played it and not complained after the fact. It's your fault why a game's not in the rotation anymore. So can you imagine now? I mean, let's be honest. With Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, a game that I played 20 hours, and the playthrough literally died on the stream, where everyone complained about the game and said that it sucked, it was boring, and no one supported it, so I quit it. And then all year, people were screaming, why did you not play one of the best games of the year? Why are you not playing it? Because I did. And it didn't work. Same thing happened with Metaphor, where I played, 12 to 15 hours of the demo. And I loved the demo. No one was showing up for it. So then everyone yelled at me, you didn't play the best RPG of the year. Well, you're yelling at the wrong person. I wanted to play it. I don't know what else to say. What's up, Captain DCW? Good evening. How are you doing, man? Absolutely it would. I firmly believe that if I brought back these games that failed as playthroughs just because a bunch of people got vocal about them not being played or being dropped, that they wouldn't work. And then I'd get complaints. Why are you continuously playing a game that no one wants? Don't you understand that you're supposed to be doing things your fans want? Why are you wasting time playing a game no one's asking for? So it's like, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If anything, no one can accuse me of not giving more games a shot now. Like Marvel Rivals, I played the beta in the summer. I played the full release in December. I now gave it a 3rd try. Now I've learned my lesson. But no one can be like, oh, Phil just doesn't play games anymore. That's not the case. I do give games a shot. I bought out games outright that I only played once because no one wanted them after the fact, right? Well, Captain, hopefully you get to relax tonight then. Sorry about that. Because he's tired from having to close his store. Yeah, here's what I firmly believe. I was just always the guy who always finished games no matter what. And it was probably one of the dumbest things that I ever did. Like, as a person who's performing a stream, right? This is a performance. This is entertainment that I'm providing. If it's not providing the necessary entertainment for the audience that they like it so that they're going to show up, engage, and support it, then I should be doing other stuff, correct? And I feel like that was my major problem is I was not accidentally, but I was intentionally forcing myself to finish games that no one wanted me to finish. You see? So because of that, we were having games run for months, for dozens of hours, hundreds of hours. And I was shooting myself in the foot all along. Instead, I should have just been saying what games are working. If they work, keep playing them. If they don't work, don't keep playing them, right? And that's how it should have always been. I don't know what, again, I think I come from a forgotten era, is what it is. I come from an era on YouTube where, no exaggeration, I could have played any game and it would have worked. I could have played an RPG, a fighting game, an online shooter, an offline shooter, an action game, a platformer, a third-person adventure game, a narrative-based game, choose-your-own-adventure style game, no matter what, and it all worked. But that was over a decade ago. That was a different era. I was a different person, correct? I was more popular back then. Now, I have to realize who I am, the scope of what I do, the limitations of being a guy who doesn't have a giant audience, and that I need to do content for the people that are going to actually show up, engage, and support with it. So enough with just because I started a game, I have to finish it. That's not the case at all. And honestly, it never should have been. Like, I never should have operated my model like that. It should have always been, try a game. If it works, great. If it doesn't, move on. Do what people want. I don't know why I was forcing myself into doing stuff that wasn't working. But I did. For the longest time, I did, correct? If I start a game, I must finish. Even if it's bad and no one cares or no one wants it, I gotta keep going. That was dumb. So things do have to change. If I'm gonna be successful, if I'm gonna continue to be at a level where I can have, the level of support that I get, so I can do improvements to my setup, so I can actually do things for myself and my family. This week, I'm taking an extra day off to spend with my wife because of the level of success I'm experiencing, okay? If I don't want to be living nervously paycheck to paycheck anymore, I got to make the smart moves. I got to do the smart things. So that's what we're going to be working on this year, is figuring out what works, what doesn't. I have the funds to try new stuff. If I want to try a game I never played before, do this, do that, we can do that. But if it doesn't work, fair. We observed it. We tried it. Didn't work. Move on, right? Do something different. And that's okay. No sour grapes. Seriously, at this point, no sour grapes. We tried Marvel Rivals, even after people yelling for it. It ain't working. Just don't ask for it again, because I'm not playing it again. Fair enough? Okay. 2 subs from Plasma 7. Plasma 7 themselves became a sub and then gifted a sub over on Kick. So thank you to Plasma for that. That's another $10 of support tonight. So last chance. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say or talk about or address before we adjourn? A last-minute contribution, because I'm about to get out of here. What keyboard and mouse do I use? I use the Logitech I can't read it because they put it in light text. I can't read it. The Logitech G915 TKL Lightspeed Wireless Tactile Model keyboard. Okay. I couldn't read it because there wasn't enough freaking light. And I use the Logitech G705 wireless gaming mouse. Both of these peripherals use a technology that is called Lightspeed. What this is a new technology by Logitech that is insanely low latency for gaming. So even though they're wireless, they're not laggy. They actually are just as fast as a wired mouse and keyboard. So they can hang with people who are, say, using a wired mouse and keyboard. They're actually as good. And that's why I got them, so that way I could be wireless but still play games. Okay. We are probably not playing Star Stalker 2 tomorrow, because now tomorrow Smart Guys is going to be a super long episode that's going to feature both AEW and Raw. So we're probably not doing any gameplay. It's probably just going to be Smart Guys and then no other stream. And then the night stream will be Street Fighter 6. FYI. What are the pads by the keyboard and mouse here? These is wrist rests. They look like clouds. They're kind of neat. They're wrist rests. And they are what do you call it? The like not memory foam, but whatever it's called, the special foam that they use. And you want the name brand QLOUD. I didn't know that, and I bought a knockoff that sucks, and I have that over on the PC over there for uploading and stuff, because I didn't realize there were knockoffs. This is good. This is like really good quality. It's durable. It's very comfortable, and it gives a lot of support when I'm gaming, so I love it. But I bought a cheap knockoff, not knowing that there was one, and that one's crappy. That one, I'm not even kidding, that one's already starting to like wear out and melt, and it just feels weird. This is great. So go with the name brand. Don't go with the knockoff. Okay. We did. Thanks, Steve Pimp. Did you see the new emote? It's the clapping emote that's on Kick now. Do you see it? It's me from Halloween clapping. We got it. It was actually Shia sent it to me. So we ended up getting it, which is great because it was stuck in stupid Twitter. I couldn't get it out of there. There it is. What's the name of the mic? This is the Shure. I can't remember. The Shure MV7 Plus. It says it on the back. Shure MV7 Plus. That's the mic. It's a mid-range Shure mic. It's not the high-end one. It's the mid-range. I didn't need the high-end. Everything I got from Amazon. Yep. Like literally everything in this setup I bought off Amazon. All of it. Everything you see here is off Amazon. I'm not even exaggerating. The only thing that I didn't, not this lamp, because this lamp I had 10 years ago, and not the ghost lamp that I got at a brick and mortar store. Everything else in your setup here, I got off Amazon. Okay, I take it back. The foam on the wall, I didn't get off Amazon. I bought that directly from the business. But there you go. All right, guys. Is there a reason I'm using USB on the mic? Yeah. Number one, because then it allows me to use the touch to mute feature. Without that, I can't touch to mute. Number two, that I then can use the proprietary software with it to tweak it. So I don't need the preamp, because literally everything the preamp was doing, I'm using software to do anyway. So it's exactly the same quality as if I had been using the, whatchamacallit. I forget what those cables are called, the analog cables or whatever. It sounds exactly the same. In fact, I would argue it sounds a little better now that we've tweaked it. So, yeah, I got rid of my preamp. All right, guys. It is time to get out of here. I want to say thanks to those who did chill. As you can see, literally just hanging out with you guys for an hour. I made way more than playing Marvel Rivals, so I appreciate everyone who was here and hung out with me. You know, now we got to figure out what we're going to do, if we're going to do other stuff like Stalker 2 or not, and what we're going to do in place of Rivals, all right? But thank you guys for those who hung out with me for the hour. I really appreciate it. And hopefully this was at least an entertaining video for those watching on demand, and I will see you soon.